Empty restaurant, busy restaurant, doing things differently. Go from empty to full with minor changes. Welcome. Make the changes recommended with this knowledge and you are sure to have more customers. After all, you or your business partner or family got a restaurant because you or they were inspired by a busy restaurant and thought it would be the same way. Busy and having a lot of customers where you thought you would be making money hand over fist. Well, it didn't really turn out like that, did it? With this knowledge, you'll learn everything you need to know about what customers want and why they go to one restaurant over another, and you will learn why they stop coming. And we will recommend changes that are specific to your restaurant also, which will set you up for success.
In your beginning. My friend, I understand having little to no customers is frustrating. You opened your restaurant and was sure it's going to be a hit because you have good food and all you had to do was open your doors and thought they would come. Right? Wrong. You see, it doesn't really work like that. They may have come in the very beginning, in the first couple weeks or first couple months to check you out. Then your customers started to fade away little by little and you have no idea why. Larry Thompson, an expert in the field, has put together his knowledge, narrated by artificial intelligence, will be teaching you how running a restaurant is supposed to be like, where you can have a lot of customers if you run your restaurant the right way. And it's not hard to have lots of customers. Customers' expectations are low, but you also can't run your restaurant like an amateur because it just turns customers away. Larry has seen what the slow restaurants do and what the busy ones do, and this is what he's going to show you. We will be covering them in detail, and this will open your eyes. And if you make the changes in your restaurant to model what the busy restaurants are doing, then you should also see success. A restaurant doesn't have to be fancy to have lots of customers. A very modest, average-looking restaurant have all the customers too when they do things the right way. So let's get started.
Looking at the statistics. One thing about numbers is that they don't lie. The next video will show you some very scary statistics about restaurants. This goes back to the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule basically means that 80% of the outcomes come from 20% of the inputs. In restaurants, this means that 20% of restaurants have 80% of the customers, and 80% of the restaurants have 20% of the customers. It's a very brutal reality, but it's a universal rule. Not only in business, but in everything. Be in the top 20%. Some people might tell you the location is everything. No, it's not. Although it helps, but it's not. Usually with a high traffic location, parking is very difficult. But even in a high traffic location, you would see one restaurant busy while the restaurant directly across the street is empty. Before we get into the meat of what the core four things are, we have to cover some statistics first. About 90% of customers check the restaurant online before going in. More than 50% of restaurant owners say staff training and retention is their biggest challenge. 44% of orders come from the restaurant's own delivery drivers. So you really have to deliver because most millennials have food delivered home. You really have to take online orders. If you don't want to deliver, sign up with Grubhub, DoorDash, or Uber Eats. About 60% of new restaurants fail within the first year. About 80% fail in the first 3 to 5 years. Repeat customers are the lifeblood of your restaurant. More than 51% of your customers are repeat customers in a high-traffic area. If you are in a neighborhood, repeat customers are more than 80% of your business. Why people dine out? In the United States, we have all types of food from different nations. And you might argue that your restaurant has a certain following of patrons due to the type of food you have. Although that might be somewhat true, it's really not the whole reason why people come. Let's pick Mexican food, for example. There are lots of Mexican food restaurants, yet still only a very few of them have most of the customers. The majority of them are struggling. People go out to have a good time. And if it means going to a type of restaurant they've never been to, they will do it, as long as they think they are going to have a good time. People go where other people are. Your restaurant has to have customers in order for other customers to come in. This course will show you how to gain customers if you are not a busy restaurant yet, and build on it. And building on it will increase your customer base over time. It's really important that you understand that. People don't want to go to an empty place. What they will perceive is that your place must not be good. is the reason why no one else is here either. Most often people will dine in for the first and last time if you have an empty restaurant. And if they come again, it's most likely for takeout. What a lot of restaurants do. Restaurants just open their restaurant and think they will all come, not understanding what customers really want. If you can give your customers reasons to be repeat customers, then and only then you can have a busy restaurant and repeat customers. But it's about what the customer want. You will have success if your customers are happy and, as a result, come back again and again, or even if they come for the first time. If they see your place having other customers, they will have confidence in coming in your door without feeling like they are taking a chance on you. When a restaurant is empty and the customer that walks in not seeing any other customers, the customer will feel like they are taking a chance on you, even if it is for takeout. That's why it's dearly important to have customers in your restaurant, because customers bring customers.
Perception. What customers think of your place. The first moment they walk in the first few seconds. So customers are in the door. How are they supposed to be handled? The first impression? This is the moment where your customers will either feel comfortable or will feel like they are taking a chance with you. If they feel uncomfortable, it's usually their last time, but they don't usually just walk out to not be rude, so they will take their chance on you at that time. We will show you how to eliminate this dreadful moment to make them feel comfortable. The restaurants that are busy are usually $2 to $3 more than an empty restaurant. And people would rather spend just a tiny bit more and go to a place where they trust and feel comfortable and have a good time and not feel like their food might be old. A lot of times, though, it's not even $1 more at these busy restaurants. It's the same price as those places that are empty. But the busy restaurants have their tables full, and sometimes even have a waiting line. And you, as a struggling restaurant owner, just don't seem to understand how these restaurants are doing it. And sometimes their food is not even as good as yours, but your food will become old if you don't have many customers. And it's not going to be good. People are not stupid. What do I mean by that? People know that when you are not having customers, your food is probably old, but the few that come and order a plate from you are only taking a chance on you. It's like they are gambling and close their eyes and hope for the best. Worth it or not worth it? People will know if your food got old when they eat it, because it has that unpleasant taste to it. People know that you tried to cover it up by marinating it again, or when you preserve it with salt. The foul taste in pastries, too. Recently I went to a restaurant because I was craving that particular dish. There was nobody else there. My inner voice told me to leave, but I stayed anyway. Waiter came and seated me, and I had my dish that I was craving, and it was really old, and they tried to preserve it by soaking it in salt. I mean, it had so much salt I can't even describe to you, and they were even more expensive than other restaurants that are busy and have fresher food that have that same dish. I regret going there. Needless to say, that was my last time there. They are making this mistake with everyone, and soon will have to close their doors. And people know when you use canned chicken or canned tuna. People know when you sell them grape leaves appetizer that comes with about 6 pieces for $7 or $8 that you didn't make at your restaurant but bought a large jar of it for $8 from a grocery store that comes with 90 of them in the jar. When you make these kinds of mistakes, the customers will be in your restaurant for the last time. You might be in a tough situation trying to survive by doing these kinds of things, or worse yet, thinking your customers don't know any better, but it's not your customers' problems. They don't want it to happen to them. People will feel like they got ripped off as if not worthy to come back again.
Worth it or not worth it? Continued. Please don't come again. When you are making these mistakes that piss customers off, you are communicating to them, please don't come again, and they won't. They can go to another place next time. And if they're going to be craving of a certain dish, they will travel several miles away to another restaurant to get it. If there's a lot of restaurants that have your food, then they don't even have to travel far. There's a lot of restaurants that need to improve and reduce the number of mistakes. I want every neighborhood to have a legitimate restaurant. The bar is not set high. It's set really low, to be honest. If you make these changes that I'll be covering here in this course, you will really blow your competition out of the water. Don't follow the herd. I've noticed that restaurants follow each other, and so many other mistakes. And they think if everyone is doing the same thing, we will do what they do. not realizing that most of you are struggling. It's as if you are all trained to do the same thing because you see it everywhere. You have to stand out from the crowd. The end of slow restaurant owners. And then the owner runs out of business. When customers see these things they don't like, they won't come back. And slowly, but surely the owner will run out of business. And then the next guy comes in doing the same exact things. Well, they get a run of customers in the beginning. But after customers see that the new guy is doing the same things, they stop coming again. Then this guy goes out of business, and the third guy comes. He will go through the same cycle for a while until he runs out of business, and the vicious cycle repeats itself. I have literally seen this happen at one location. I know a couple different restaurant owners who move from location to location to location, but does the same things in every location and expect different results because they think it's the location. And they are forced to close their doors after a while and then find another location. They never learned their lesson. I just wonder how many locations they will go through before they figure it out or give up on it. But location has very little to do with getting a lot of customers. I have seen restaurants in terrible locations that get a lot of customers. Element number 1. Why people come. People want to go to a place where other people go. Like a club, people don't want to go to an empty club. What to do after you make the changes that will be discussed in the next few pages. You have to market your restaurant to your neighborhood again, or for the first time if you never marketed before. Because most restaurants just open the doors and expect them to come. Marketing is after making the changes, of course. Your main goal should be that your restaurant become busy. That's it. This is element number 1. Even if you have to give away free food for a month to make your restaurant look full during your marketing period, it would be worth it. I am not suggesting this, because if you run promos based on price, that will only attract deal hunters. And after your promo is over, your restaurant is empty again. What I am saying is having your restaurant full is so important that it trumps every other factor.
Continuing from the last video, we recommend that you never run promos on price or deals because it attracts deal hunters. After you make the changes we recommend to you, and these are things that the busy restaurants are doing that are hidden in plain sight, we suggest you run a promo to your neighborhood where your message is just to check you out again. Your message should be more about new management, and we have a new ad sample you can use to send out to your neighborhood. Either way, when you do things the right way, it makes people want to come back, and they tell their people, and their people tell their people, and it will have a snowball effect, and you will become busy and having lots of customers, whether they dine in or take out. Even when someone gets food to go, they will still feel comfortable when they see other customers. It's social proof. Unlike if they see no one or one person or one table, they won't feel comfortable and will feel like they are taking a chance on you. This is what you want to avoid at all cost. And this is one of the main reasons why slow restaurants are slow, even if they have great food. You will learn the common mistakes restaurants make innocently and not even know they are making these mistakes and how to avoid them. When people open a restaurant without knowing the proven skills to be successful, they are operating in their default self. There's more than just simply opening your doors. It has been proven to you already if you have just opened your doors and seen lackluster results. Now, we are not judging you, not at all. We can show you the skills it takes to run a restaurant the right way, and it's just a few changes from what you are already doing, not hard to implement.